Today, I wanted to talk about when we move somewhere, what ends up happening. Well, and if you're living in a lot of countries, and when you exit your country, you have to worry about exit tax. Now, exit tax is unfortunately a pain in the ass, and we don't really like to have to deal with it, but it is just a legal reality, and a lot of people misunderstand certain things about it. I will note that this depends a lot on where you are in the world. Okay, so if you are in, say, Canada, then it's very pernicious. It's quite difficult to deal with. If you are in someplace like UK, at least at the moment, there is no exit tax. So very simple if you're in one of those places, but it might also determine where you want to move, right? If you move to some place that you could have an exit tax later, you might be like, oh, that's not so great for me and my situation. Generally speaking, exit tax is a tax on your unrealized capital gains in the assets that you own. So in other words, it's not based on cash that you hold, because cash is already after tax. Okay, so cash is not taxable in exit tax. And so it's only on assets that you have where the value of those assets has gone up. Now note also that what that means is it's only on the unrealized gains. Okay, so if you bought Apple stock yesterday and Apple stock hasn't gone up at all, well, there's no exit tax because there's no gain. If you bought something and it has gone down, that counts to the negative. This also means that if you're in a situation where you have, for example, some gains in one thing and losses in another, they will cancel each other out, right? So it's looking at your total portfolio. And it applies at the time when you cease to become resident in the country in question. Usually, this applies the same way taxes would apply to you normally in that country. What do I mean by that? I mean, you can't set up a company in, let's say, BVI, put the assets into the company and avoid them. Why not? Because as a resident of the country, it's one of your assets. You know, if it would be taxable to you as a resident, then it's taxable to you as part of the exit tax. So why they do this is because once you leave the country, their ability to enforce taxes on you goes away.